So I will say that. All right. Trump went in on Bondi, honey, because he like, listen, y'all gonna have to do something about Letitia James. I'm tired of waiting. So he posted this on Truth Social on the 20th. He said over the weekend, he said, Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time, all talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Kami, Adam, Shifty Chef, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put in a Democrat supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past, a woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why two of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. So he even lied to the media and said he quit and that we had no case. No, I fired him, and there is a great case. And many lawyers and legal pundits say so. Lindsey Halligan is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. President DJT. And what was this? And then he responded.
She responded.
No, he responded again. He said, Pam Bondi is doing a great job as Attorney General of the United States. She is very careful, very smart, loves our country, but needs a tough prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia, like my recommendation, Lindsey Halligan, to get things moving. What we don't need is a Democrat endorsed Republican. I will be nominating Lindsey Halligan to be the United States Attorney in this very important part of our great country. She will be fair, smart, and will provide desperately needed justice for all. So he's basically saying, listen, he wants Lindsey Halligan to get in the Eastern District of Virginia, and he wants Pam Bondi to start arresting or putting charges up against Letitia James and Adam Sheaf, whatever pronounce his name, and Kami.
In other words, what they need is grand juries.
He want to see her behind bars.
Well, what he really needs is some convened grand juries with artful presentations, and that's up to the U.S. attorney in the area to take care of that. So what happens is typically the president will honor the recommendations of senators or governors from his party as to nominees that he presents to the Senate for confirmation as U.S. attorneys for a given district. That doesn't always work out. And I am personally aware of and have talked to some former U.S. senators and current U.S. senators, well, not current, former ones, who were very much ranked by some bargains that they made with the opposition party in terms of who they nominated. Typically, what happens is somebody is promised that an off-brand candidate will run against him or her when the re-election period arrives. If they were kind enough or gracious enough or astute enough to nominate a certain somebody who's really a plant for the opposite party as U.S. attorney.
So Trump nominates top aide as senior prosecutor investigating Letitia James because she has that mortgage fraud thing out of Virginia. So President Trump announced Saturday he is nominating, this is Lindsey Halligan, a senior aide to serve as U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, where the top prosecutor left on Friday amid pressure from the Trump administration to investigate his political enemies. So he wants her to go after Letitia James for the mortgage.
Well, the Constitution makes the president in charge of the executive functions of government. And under him, he has certain constitutional ministers, one of which is the Attorney General for the United States. So technically, the boss for the Attorney General is the president, and the Attorney General is part of his cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the president's supposed to do. Make sure that the right people are in place to govern the country from the executive function side.
Do you think that he's going to be able to prosecute Letitia James?
Yeah, I think she's going to wind up in convicted too.
What about James Comey?
Possible.
What about Adam Schiff?
Possible.
The American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No. I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of
you're
inmates.
not in the weeds?
What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of California. We are bringing historic reform. Point of order. But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
you said I'm the most transparent FBI director in history. 33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want to go now.
Both of you be quiet.
But Letitia,
Big Tish,
is so blatant in what she was doing, and she reflects something I noticed about con artists. Con artists run con games where they accuse the victims of their cons of doing what they are actually doing to the victims. In other words, they make a lot of noise especially when they're involved in politics. They accuse the opposition of doing exactly what they're doing.
yeah, because he's like, listen, she needs to be investigated for the mortgage thing, but at the same time, they also need to be charges put up for abuse of power, because you brought up these Trump charges on Trump,
Except there is a problem with that. There's a grand jury that intervenes. It wasn't just on an arrest warrant. So when there's a grand jury that indicts, the whole process becomes immune from a false arrest claim.
Okay.
So that's a long American tradition, English tradition too.